Bienvenidos and welcome back to the high ground. My name is Henry and I'm joined by the lovely wifey herself, Tina.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining back on our channel. And to watch this recap video, we're taking a look back at the 2 months we were away from the high ground. We were so busy planning and preparing for our wedding that we didn't have time to record, edit, or produce any videos, but that doesn't mean we stayed away from the theaters. So here's a recap of the movies we watched in April and May. Stick around to the end to hear which movies we're looking forward to this summer. So to start us off, let's just acknowledge our last video was on John Wick 4, which was in March, the end of March. I know, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
But we did see quite a few movies in the theaters, and the first one, if we're going chronological order, is Air, which was released April 5th.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good way to start this list, in all honesty. Air wasn't anything that really blew our minds. It was a really centralized story surrounding the whole business side of Nike and Michael Jordan creating this brand new Jordan brand back in the 80s. And it was a very interesting movie. And what I did love was some of the actors and actresses, specifically Viola Davis and Matt Damon. They both killed it in their roles.
Yeah, and we have to acknowledge the duo, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, coming back and writing, directing, and producing this movie as they've done in the past. They did a really great job, and their style has kind of stayed consistent in how they tell the stories.
Yes.
But you're right. Those actors and some of those performances were amazing. Viola Davis specifically. Let's hope that she gets nominated for some of her dialogue and her monologues in that movie.
Yeah,
but I also really liked some of the scenery, some of the heartfelt moments. You know, like you're saying, it's not blown out of my mind kind of movie, but it was a genuine story and genuine emotions portrayed throughout the movie, and it was good watch.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it. I think if you have the chance, now it's officially on Amazon Prime streaming, so if you pay for those services, have a couple hours, check it out.
I'll just say that one thing I didn't like, I guess, is that I guess I didn't like it, is that they never showed Michael Jordan's face.
Oh, well, I'm the opposite. I love that they didn't do that. I loved how they got away with it. I think it wasn't his story, and the moment you add Michael Jordan into it, it becomes a different.
And it also didn't feel like a docu series or a documentary. So that was really cool too. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's streaming now. Obviously we're 2 months late, but what's your rating for the movie?
Yeah, I give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's not bad. I honestly would go a little lower.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not very. There's no action. There's no real drama in my opinion, and I just. It's a good story, but I wouldn't necessarily watch it again unless it's on TV. So I kind of would give it a little lower of a rating.
Okay, like what?
Like a 6.
6 out of 10?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, 6 out of 10.
Still in a good watch, it's not gonna make you lose any brain cells.
No, definitely not. And honestly, there were better movies that we watched.
There were better movies that released that same day, which we didn't think this was gonna be the better of these two movies. In all honesty,
no, I really did not have good expectations for the Super Mario Brothers movie. It was so much fun, and to see these characters we've known and grown to love as children through different mediums finally have his big
there was one in the 90s.
There's others. Yes, there's others. But this one I think is just on a whole other level. Yeah. Considering the technology we're at and how amazing the animation was, the colors, and the overall flow of the story and how they enhance the characters. It's just, you can't even compare it to the original.
And the one thing that I will give them props for is making it animated. The animation for this movie was very, very, very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, I think, one of its biggest pros. Some of its cons, though, I think we acknowledged early on, right after we watched it, was really hard to take away the faces of those voice actors and only see the characters we were seeing on screen. Yeah. Like Chris Pratt, for example, and Charlie Day. I could not get away from seeing them.
Yeah, it took me a while too.
Yeah, exactly.
20, 30 minutes, and then after that, I bought in.
But then you have the other way with Jack Black and his character Bowser, where it's I knew that it was Jack Black, but the way Bowser, I think, was portrayed made it so seamless seamless compared to the other two that I just mentioned. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time.
Music
A lot of
was great. Obviously, you had that hit banger coming out of that.
every single time, man. Peaches by Jack Black. You could just tell that the voice actors had a great time filming this. They had a passion for it. They probably loved playing the video games growing up.
Yeah.
So that just oozed out in the theaters, and it just left both of us walking out smiling, laughing, wanting like to keep talking about it. And that's something we did not expect going into this movie.
No, we almost canceled.
We almost canceled our tickets. Yeah. So, darling, what would you give the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Honestly, the way it blew me out of my mind, like how it exceeded my expectations, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It was super fun. I think a great way to kind of intro the summer, even though it was still spring.
Yeah.
But you have moments that people still talk about, songs that people still talk about, and I honestly can't wait to watch the next one because there's gonna be another one.
100%, and that's something I'm open to because they have so many other avenues to explore and adventure out there, and I'm in for it. I'm in for that Super Mario Brothers universe.
Would you also give it an 8 out of 10?
I think we're on the same page here. A nice 8 out of 10. Good time with your kids, without your kids. If you've played Mario, if you haven't played Mario, go watch this movie. You'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next movie it's so funny because it's completely on the opposite side of the spectrum. We went and watched Sisu. It came out April 28th, and it was something else.
Yeah, it is a World War II action movie, which takes place, I believe, in
Finland.
Finland, thank you. It takes place in Finland.
Yeah, where the Nazis are invading the country, and Sisu, this legendary character that everyone has heard about, just is roaming around doing his thing, digging gold.
Yeah, mining gold.
But what was really nice about that movie, besides all the cool action sequences, was the cinematic, the scenes, the photography,
the establishing shots.
Yep, those long shots, the wide
so
shots.
Good.
When we got out of that theater, I remember telling you that I can't help but compare it to Hateful Eight and some of those moments, because you do get like cold in those cold scenes, you get warm in those those hot scenes.
Yeah,
and it was just really beautiful. Besides all of the blood and the
gore and the action,
kills. Yeah,
you definitely get some Tarantino vibes from this. The only thing that I would say it's really missing from that Tarantino-esque type of style and movie is just the actual gravity to the situation. Of course, it's bad because Nazis are bad and they're stealing this guy's gold, but it's such a contained story. Like, it's literally only affecting this guy, but you see all the impacts going on around, and at the point in time where the World War II is, which I think was towards the tail end of the war, and the Nazis were saying that they were done. Their chances their chances are gone.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to get that kind of point of view and having that condensed story, but it just really didn't draw me into the character of Sisu so much.
Right.
I feel like that for him being the titular character and you're following him along the entire time, you're really only hearing his story from secondary characters.
Others are telling you about his legend. Yeah. And I also felt there was a point towards the end of the movie where legit it went from legend to like superstition, we're seeing this guy as a person, but the legend makes it so that he's indestructible, immortal, and it definitely hit a spot where it got to that point where I was like, okay, I'm suspending my belief now. Like, it's fun and all, but I totally get what you're saying. Like, I don't think we'll ever see Sisu again because it is one of those where it's like one and done. The story is cool and fun, and it was told, and that's all we need to know about that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So our overall rating, I know you told me on early that it was an okay. It was fun, but it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
So what's your rating?
I'm giving it like a 7, 6.5, 7 range. I like me my World War II movies. I like me my action gory films, but there really wasn't too much weight to it. It was just a fun time. Put it on, have a couple brewskis, have a couple drinks. Yeah, and so from Sisu, if we're going chronologically, the next movie we watch is probably one of the best ones within this 2-month span.
Absolutely, and who knows, maybe the best one of the summer.
Oh, we'll get to that list later towards the end of the year. We have so many more movies to go through, but yeah, I agree. This is a banger. This movie really took it to another level, wrapped up a beautiful trilogy with a beautiful bow, and just left the fans satisfied. And we're talking about
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like, just thinking about that movie makes me want to go watch it again. It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to smile. It makes me want to laugh. I loved how we really got a realistic portrayal of people's emotions and their reactions to what's happened to them.
Yes.
We don't get that a lot in Marvel.
No.
You know, it's a big climatic event happens and we just move on.
We just shrug it off and keep moving forward.
But we got a little bit of a hint in the Christmas special about what the Guardians were feeling. But in this movie, I think they were not afraid to tell us how much they were suffering or how much pain they were in. And I really appreciated that because you don't think Guardians with something so serious, you know?
Yeah.
It still had its funny moments,
of course.
Like them ballooning across the spaceship and trying to land on this planet and invade all of this. It was crazy. It was so crazy. But overall, the story was amazing.
100%. Yeah, I think really it catapulted these C-tier superheroes into a level among their own. Like this, we consider this one of the best trilogies that the MCU has.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of great ones, and this one is in contention for the number one spot. And everyone came out and did fantastic.
Yeah.
You had Chris Pratt, who you could just see the emotion and the distraught and the sadness that every time he put eyes on Gamora, it would just kill him.
Yeah, it really would. And Gamora,
it's just indifferent. She just like, who the hell are you? You know? And
I love that. I love that, to be honest. Like, because that Gamora, again, as they repeated, isn't the Gamora we know. She's a whole other person, and she's been like consistent in her personality and how she portrays that personality. But honestly, Nebula is a character that we've grown to love and have seen such a huge character arc.
Yes.
And in this movie, I think it concludes it very beautifully. You see not only like her reaction to it all, but her staying in touch with her sister, and then how close she is with Rocket, which
Rocket.
We can't not acknowledge. This is Rocket's story.
Yeah.
This is not a Chris Pratt, a
Star-Lord
story.
No.
And wow, like the way that we've heard snippets of it throughout the trilogy, and now seeing it for what it is, and it like kind of unwinding. Damn, it's a story worth telling.
Yeah, and a story worth watching. I would say the only fault within this movie is there's some side characters that it felt like they just had to plug in there because they teased them in a previous movie.
Yeah.
And they just felt like it was just kind of a little extra clutter. It didn't really add much. It didn't take away anything. It was just there. And
I'll also say a little knock to the movie. I think is kind of the pace. Like you had a lot of things happening that was always like, we need to get there to get this, to get there to get that, and you know?
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like the plot needed to move along so fast that there was a lot of like assistance.
Yeah, there were some decisions some characters made that you're like, oh, this is just to move along the plot. It has nothing to do with their own character
But that
traits.
doesn't dissuade me at all from our rating. It doesn't. There's so many more things to like than to dislike.
Oh, 100%.
And our rating is pretty freaking high.
It's pretty good. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 gets a 9 out of 10.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So far, Guardians have been the best movie in our recap. And the last movie we saw while we were away these last 2 months was super fun. We watched it wedding weekend. It was our Saturday event for our friends and family. And we had a great time watching it.
Oh, it was fantastic. The whole auditorium was laughing. Popcorn was being eaten. Like it was just galore. It was beautiful. But it comes with an asterisk.
Yes, so the movie that we last watched was Fast X. We literally watched it last week.
Yeah. Fast X is a ride and a half. Will you enjoy the entire time? Probably not. No. A general audience person who hasn't seen maybe like 8 or 9 of these movies already will not go into this movie and be changed and be like, oh, this is the Fast and the Furious movie that did it for me, and I'm gonna love the series for the rest of my life. No.
No.
If you are a fan of this franchise, you are going to have a great time.
You'll have a great time.
This is a campy movie, a B movie with the biggest budget you've ever seen in your life, and it's so much fun. And we just love those type of movies.
We do.
But we also understand that these are not good movies.
They're not good. They're not good at all. The story was bad. The plot was bad. The characters also weren't great.
No, there was only one standout character.
Yes, and that was Jason Momoa.
Yes.
He did amazing.
He just had
the time of his life.
And it showed. It showed because everyone walking out of that movie theater was Jason Momoa was good. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was bland.
I mean, he was, I think, the most unique component of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, this is the 10th one of the freaking franchise. We've seen it all. And, like, it is becoming hard to top their last movie.
100%.
And you can kind of tell, right?
Yeah.
But you're not necessarily there for the plot. You're not there necessarily for character arcs, which we don't get any.
None.
You know, you're not there for dialogue. You're there for the action,
it's
the
bad.
cars,
That's great.
The fastness, the crashes. You're there for the bombs and
you're there for some cringe, dude. If you like some cringe and it makes you giggle and just like the ridiculousness of it makes you laugh, you're gonna have a good time. But in all honesty, would we recommend this to anybody that isn't a fan of the franchise? Probably not.
No.
Would we say even if it's on TV, watch it? Probably not. There's so much stuff you wouldn't catch.
Not only that, but there's better Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
there is.
If you really want to watch a Fast and Furious, you got to watch some of the earlier ones up until like 6 or 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, they're really trying to figure out how can they prolong this franchise. It really feels like they're going to give us more. Do we need it? I mean, this movie ended in a cliffhanger, so we do.
We're getting a to be continued. And I mean, they found a golden egg and they're milking it dry until they can't milk it no more. And these movies are still raking in so much money.
Yeah.
Now even more because we get a lot of teases that a bunch of returning characters are coming in.
Yep.
So it's making the conclusion of this Fast X of even grander than it already is right now. So I am looking forward to the next one.
We'll watch the next one, yes.
I will have a great time with it.
But this movie still isn't rated that high, at least from us. We're giving it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yep. There's definitely better ones out there.
So, darling, before we end this video for today, we did tease to our audience that we were going to let them know a couple of movies that we're looking forward to this summer. So what are some that you are looking forward to?
Oh my gosh, there's so many coming out this month specifically in June, but I'm honestly looking forward to Transformers.
Oh.
Like it's kind of that Fast X experience, you're there for the ride, not necessarily for the story.
And Bumblebee was good too.
I liked it, so I'm excited for Transformers, but honestly, like Asteroid City, the Wes Anderson movie coming out at the end of the month is going to be great.
It's gonna be fun. It's
a
Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. What about you?
This month, man. Oh, we've been going through the trilogy right now, the original trilogy.
Yep.
And I love my Indiana Jones, and so I am looking forward to The Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
An old man, Harrison Ford. Does this need to exist? No, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's his passion project. He wants to do it, so. I'm in.
I have to mention just a little bit of a side mention. I would like to watch Joyride.
Oh.
Yeah, it just seems like a fun kind of summer movie.
Produced by Seth Rogen, and get to experience.
You got a large Asian cast.
Yeah.
You need to support those.
100%.
So that's this month, but July is right around the corner. It's going to be here pretty soon. We
July
have some pretty
is huge.
big movies.
July is huge.
What are you looking forward to in July?
Biggest weekend in the summer, and that's with the 2 biggest releases, in my opinion, with Oppenheimer and Barbie.
That is such a opposite. That weekend is going to be insane.
That weekend's going to be crazy.
But Oppenheimer is one of our most anticipated movies of the year. So I'm looking forward to that, absolutely. But we can't not mention Mission Impossible coming out in July too.
Oh, love me some Tom Cruise.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to it. Haunted Mansion comes out in July. Do we need it again? We don't necessarily need it, but we'll watch it.
We'll take it.
We'll watch it. And then to end the summer in August, I'm only looking forward to 2 movies. and that's Gran Turismo, because I love my fast cars.
You love your fast cars.
And it looks like a fun story to tell.
Interesting.
Yeah, and again, fast cars.
Yeah.
And Blue Beetle.
Oh, my boy.
Those are some of those movies this summer coming out that we're looking forward to. I mean, who knows which we'll review, but if you want to hear one of our reviews for any of these movies, definitely drop it down in the comments so we can make that video for you.
Yeah, and let us know what you're looking forward to this summer. And yeah, now to conclude the video, Darlin, I'll let you take it away.
Those were the movies that we watched these last 2 months that we couldn't produce videos for. Obviously, we just released our Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse raw review. Definitely check that out on our YouTube channel or click the button on our screen. And we're super excited to be back. It's been hectic.
Yes, it has.
Stressful.
Oh, very.
But our wedding is over. We're officially married.
Bam.
Super happy to be married.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like, this is what we enjoy to do, and we're excited to be back. So stick around. Definitely subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share with your friends. Any last words?
Nah, thanks for enjoying movies.
Thanks for enjoying movies with us. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.